Hi, Paul Hefty here with the Triangle O football system. I want to go over our stretch zone RPO and then our sprint and screens that work with that stretch zone concept. What's great about this is we can do a lot of different things doing one blocking scheme for offensive line. You can see here, I think it's important, even if you're not going to be a big outside zone team, to install this because you'll use this with your sprint outs, with your bubble screens. You can see then with a speed option, or you could do it with the fly sweep action with it. So let's take a look. All right, once again, we'll use our 3x3 install, doing the RPO first, then the pass, and then mixing the two together. So you can see here now with stretch zone, we're going to do that to the back, regular RPO with a Mickey route concept. We can add that where we put the A receiver in fly stretch. And then we use that same stretch or outside zone blocking for our sprint out pass pro and our now passes. And we'll do a bubble, a snag, and a smoke concept. Stretch zone then steps, real simple. The back is going to go ahead and take his first 3 steps the same, with the third step right at the midline of the quarterback, but now his toes are going to be pointed right to the sideline. The quarterback will take 1 shuffle step, so we have a read phase from step 3 to 4 here. The quarterback then is going to either give or pivot to its pass position. The back has the ball. Then on the 5th, 6th, and 7th step, he still wants to go down the line to stretch those defenders. But on the 7th step now, he needs to turn and have his toe pointed at a 45-degree angle right at the H. He's going to read that H back's block and then basically go to his backside. If the H is able to hook the edge, then he's going to stay outside, but as close to him as he can so he gets north and south versus running to the sideline. If the H has to turn and drive that Sam backer out to the sidelines, then he's going to go ahead at the line of scrimmage, he's going to press it and then go inside the H-back, getting north and south. All right, so our first basic stretch RPO, again, we don't say anything, we're always running towards, the front side is towards the H. So we're going to outside zone this all to the left. The theme here is NCA, so we use Lobos to the left. The read key on all of our outside run becomes actually the Mike backer run through to the play side. So we'll use what's called a Mickey route on the back side. The A runs a hot over route trying to replace that Mike or Will blitzer, and then the Z runs his glance route again, getting skinny to the 2nd and 3rd level. Quarterback is simply going to shuffle 1 to 2 steps for a ride phase, reading that Mike backer. If he fills, then he'll look to drill the ball to the A or the Z, looking inside out. Key here is the A just tries to find open grass or open windows. If the Mike skates, sits, or does a blitz backside, we're going to go ahead and still take our shuffle steps, but it's a give all the way to the back. You notice here the front side receivers have to block, bongo block. We're blocking the man on and over, with the backside now runs the RPO route. So this would be Lobos 5, because number 5 is the Mike. That's our read key. All right, let's look at our stretch zone or outside zone blocking against the various fronts. What we use is a far reach technique with a bucket step, zone scheme that we learned in technique from the University of Iowa. So in the upper left-hand corner versus the 4-3 base, we're going to go with the Lobos call. Again, when we're running stretch, we're going to run this toward the H. So the H, along with all of the offensive line, are going to do a far reach technique, meaning they're going to take your right hand, in this case, if you're covered, and you're going to try to far reach to that defender over you's outside shoulder. If you're uncovered like the center, now you're going to take your near hand, which would be your left hand, and you're going to try to far reach to overtake the next down lineman towards the call. When we run stretch, the backside tackle is going to far reach for 3 steps, and then if he doesn't engage and take over that person, he's going to go ahead and hinge back and lock up and close the back door in case the quarterback pulls this for a Mickey throw. Against the 34 odd in the upper right, we're going to get the same thing. The H is going to combo far-reaching, what would be a defensive end to the Sam backer, though, ultimately responsible there. And we're going to again get far-reaching technique to the right now. The call we use here is Ozzy, meaning outside zone. So we just go Ozzy, Ray, for example, or Roger, telling us going to the right. Or we could be Larry to the left. This is our fly stretch. If we want to start to get what's called jet sweep or fly sweep, we simply add the signal of the directional hand flapping. We don't need to make any verbal call. It's automatically Lobos and Rebels. So the verbal would just be Lobos, for example, here. And then the back, the quarterback, and the A receiver who's in motion knows he is going to be the ball carrier now. One thing we change up is the X, or the play side receiver. The X in this case is going to use a push crack block because the running back now will go an arc release and block the number 1 defender being the corner. The offensive line here is, and H here's Lobos, so everything's the same there. The backside receiver now, away from the H, is going to run the glance route, so we still have our Mickey read, RPO read on the mic, that if that mic fills hard through the A and B gaps, play side, we can go ahead, pull this, and hit the Z on a glance route. All right, next one here is a great blitz beater. It's speed option, we call it Speedo. I would pick either the fly stretch or the Speedo. Key thoughts here is, who do you want to get the ball to? If it's your A receiver, then fly stretch. If it's your quarterback and your running back, then it would be speed option here. Again, real simple. We do what's called a leave 3 technique with our play side tackle. And the way that gets communicated is we just add an O to the front of our Rebels or Lobos call. And then we're going to read what we call number 3 defender, which is the defensive end there. Again, O-line's all going to use their stretch zone towards the call. So the example here is to the right. The play side tackle, though, when he gets the O, is going to do what we call a veer step. He's going to step with his inside foot and get straight up field and climb and get block that first linebacker in his framework or to the inside. H now is going to arc release and block number 2 defender, which is the Sam. If we ran this to the slot side, then the A receiver would block that number 2. So you can see we can run it both ways. That's what makes it a great blitz beater concept. Key points here in the backfield. The running back wants to go ahead and take a bucket step with his play side foot, not be in a big hurry, and then take off and look, getting flat down the line. We want to get at least 5 yards from the quarterback. The quarterback here is, again, not going to be in a hurry. He's going to take 2 lateral shuffle steps towards the outside hip of that defensive end. We want to stretch him, and if he sits at all, we want to pitch the ball to the back right away because, again, we want to get the ball to the back out in the perimeter. If he flows really hard, though, to the back and upfield, then after those shuffle steps, then he's going to take off right over the tackle, picking up that veer block. Again, the goal of the play is to get the ball pitched, but again, it's a great blitz beater, can run it either way in a 2x2 or a 3x1 set. Next one we like to do then, this is the idea of using overlapping techniques and blocking schemes to keep it simple for our line, is this for our sprint out pass pro, we just use our stretch zone. What we change is we just add, the call is an Ozzy and we put pro on there. So Ozzy Pro Lisa would be to the left. Again, what we use for a verbal cue is spikes, but the O-line would call Ozzy Pro. Just letting everybody know we're going to use that same outside zone far reach technique, but we're just going to stay on the line of scrimmage. The H releases now, and the back replaces the H as the blocker outside that offensive tackle. The key for the back is to get up to the line of scrimmage as fast as possible, wherever that outside tackles or offensive tackles outside hip is. Looking for the Sam, ultimately responsible, but if not, then can go ahead and help secure the edge on that defensive end. So here's an example of how we can use the now stretch screen. It's just a simple bubble. Again, we're just going to go ahead and call Ram to the right, Lion to the left. The signal here is directional fist on side of the head. Again, what's going to happen with all of these bubbles is the O-line just uses their same outside zone blocking. Since it is a screen, they can go ahead and be downfield for this. So this would just be an Ozzie Ram, for example, to the right for the O-line. What we do with bubbles is it's mirrored, and the rule is the bubble receiver is always the receiver closest to the quarterback. So in a 2x2, it's going to be the A and the H, and the other receivers then are going to bongo block the man on and over them. The quarterback has the option again of looking at where he has best access and can throw it to either side. In this case, the A has outside leverage, so he would go ahead and throw that to the A receiver to the right. The back then, with all of our now bubble screens here, is going to close the back door since the tackle is far reaching away from the backside. When we get into our sprint out pass now we just again use our spikes call, and again Ray would be to the right setting that protection, but again the O-line is just going to do Ozzie Pro now because they do want to stay on the line of scrimmage. With this one, you can see we're getting a simple three-step quick corner with the Z. We're going to do what we call a shadow route, where the A is going to go ahead and basketball reverse pivot on the feet of that Sam backer, and then the H will do a hot arrow releasing underneath them. The back again is going to go replace the H in the protection, and the key is to get to the line of scrimmage as soon as possible. And then the backside tackle now with Ozzie Pro is going to far reach, but then step and hinge to close the back door. Quarterback's technique is real simple. He just takes a bucket step himself in the direction he's going. So with this play, he would go ahead and do that with his right foot, and then he's just going to start doing what we call baby steps, or a controlled sprint towards the right. All we want to do here is actually move the pocket. It's not a true rollout and get to the edge. Again, read progression simple. He's going to go ahead and look at the cat and see if he has the quick corner right away. If he doesn't, then we're just going to go ahead and go inside out or outside in, looking for the H to the A in the hole. He's always got the X on a over route as a check down, and then with this, if everybody drops off, the quarterback essentially becomes the fifth receiver by continuing controlled roll out or sprint out to the play side. Spikes Ray. Signal here is now you're going to take your directional thumb and pointer and pinky and have it up on side of the head so it looks like spikes or antlers with it. We can do the same thing here out of 2x2. We just are going to go a 5-man protection, which is a robo call for us. So now you're going to take your directional 5 fingers with the palm facing, with the fingers up and the palm facing in towards the side of the head. So you're just going to bend that hand and put that in towards the head. So it's a solo spike is what we like to call this. Again, now the B is going to free release, and we've got the same route, and the H now is just going to run a hot over from the backside. So this would be spikes robo. It just puts us in a 5-man protection. Last then is our screen pass pro, and we like to use this for all our screens. We just change the timing on whether it's a quick, a fast, or a slow screen. So you're going to see the tackles are always going to be big on big, and the guard center guard will always be the pullers. If we look at the diagram to the left, Southern Phoenix, for example, south is the word cue for screen blocking, and Phoenix would set that then the direction to the left. What's going to happen here then is the left guard is going to pull flat after they hit pass set, looking for the number 2 defender, widest from the left. The center is going to pull flat and go to the Sam, and the backside right guard is going to pull flat and then up to the Mike. If we do it to the right, it would be Southern Pittsburgh. Again, tackles are big on big, and the right guard is going to now pull the number 2, center to Sam, backside left guard to the Mike. So here's our number 1 read screen, which we call a fast screen. It's going to be, again, Southern is the word cue, so Southern Lion. Lion means then we're going to the left. Signal here is hand is under the chin. That's for south. And then we'll use our lion with our directional fist on the side of the head. This is a read screen where the quarterback is going to go ahead and read the backside first for essentially a bubble route with the flare by the B-back. So the A and the Z will blocking on the backside. If that will stares or blitzes so that the back gets outside leverage, the quarterback's just going to throw that now. If he does anything else covering that back, then the quarterback just pivots around and we're going to run our smoke screen to the left, as we've called Southern Lion, with the X receiver. You can see here the H now is going to go get the number 1. And then again, our tackles are big on big, both running outside zone to their side. So the right tackle will actually run outside zone to the right blocking, and the left tackle will do outside zone or Ozzy to the left. You can see then the left guard's going to pull for number 2, which would be the safety or goat. The center's going to pull for the Sam, and the right guard, the backside guard, for the Mike. The X simply takes 2 steps hard upfield like he's running a go route, then gets back to the line of scrimmage, and then we say creep back towards the quarterback until you get the pass, square up, and then read those blocks clicking outside in getting upfield. Again, this would be Southern Lion. So this is a great read string, fast screen.